Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Merci. Bonjour. Je suis content de représenter les Canadiens.
Good afternoon. I'm very happy to represent Canada during this historic meeting.
There was a town called Lytton. I say was because on June 30th, it burned to the ground. The day before, the temperature had hit 49.6 degrees Celsius, the hottest ever recorded in our country. Canada is warming, on average, twice as quickly as the rest of the world. And in our north, it's 3 times quicker. The science is clear. We must do more and faster. So that's the pledge and the call I bring to this historic meeting. We've already laid the groundwork. In 2015, at the COP in Paris, I committed that Canada would put a price on pollution. We did that. And despite stiff political opposition, the Supreme Court upheld it, and Canadians supported it in our last 2 elections. We know pollution pricing is key to getting emissions down while getting innovation up and running. Our carbon price trajectory is one of the most globally ambitious ones, and it's rising to $170 a ton in 2030. This is a meaningful price on pollution designed not just to make life cleaner, but also make life more affordable and less expensive for Canadians. I call on other countries to do the same. Just as globally we've agreed to a minimum corporate tax, we must work together to ensure it is no longer free to pollute anywhere in the world. That means establishing a shared minimum standard for pricing pollution. Of course, what's even better than pricing emissions is ensuring that they don't happen in the first place. Which brings me to my next major commitment. We'll cap oil and gas sector emissions today and ensure they decrease tomorrow at a pace and scale needed to reach net zero by 2050. That's no small task for a major oil and gas producing country. It's a big step that's absolutely necessary. To do our part globally, we've doubled our climate financing, including up to $1 billion for the transition away from coal. And to help deal with the consequences of climate change, Canada's making our first contribution to the Adaptation Fund. On doit trouver les solutions qui conviennent.
We must find the right solutions for our citizens in their everyday lives. And that is why Canada has set the goal of selling only zero-emissions vehicles and establishing an electricity distribution network with zero net emissions by 2035. As Minister Sharma recently said, Paris made promises. Glasgow must deliver on them. The threat of climate change knows no borders, and that is why we must work together to achieve tangible results. We must all cooperate as we did to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. We must act with the same urgency against the climate crisis and biodiversity loss.
Next 2 weeks, we must demonstrate how we'll deliver on the promise of Paris with transparency and accountability. To the world's most vulnerable who need us to act, to Indigenous people who can show us the way, to young people marching in our streets in cities around the world, we hear you. It's true. Your leaders need to do better. That's why we're here today. What happened in Lytton can and has and will happen anywhere. How many more signs do we need? This is our time to step up and step up together. Merci.